Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz on December 10, 2012, 2:50, almost 2:57 a.m. Birmingham, Alabama. Topic: I have some comments on a show tonight called Prophets of Doom. But before I get there, I'm going to tell you just a little bit. There was another show prior to this, and I don't remember the name of it. I apologize, but in any case, Revelations 13, verse 16 and 18, 666, the mark of the beast. They, and when I say they, I'm talking about the United Nations. And not only them, our President Obama made a statement, and you can find it beginning in March 2013 is the time in which everyone will be offered an ID chip, RFID chip. I understand that 9,000, or rather 27,000, has been handed out, and 3,000 have actually been implanted. So let me say a couple of things about the chip. If you take one now, and no mention of you have to take this in order to buy or sell, this is not the same chip. When you hear that you gotta take this chip in order for you to buy and sell, that is the mark of the beast. Be very clear about that. If you take one today because you want to be found if you get lost, or you're whatever the reason, I don't see where it ties into the mark of the beast. But when they tell you you have to have it, otherwise you can't work, you can't earn anything, you can't buy food, you can't pay your rent, you can't do anything without this mark, that's the mark of the beast. Don't take it. If you do, you're lost forever. Okay, Prophet of Doom, a little show that came on here, and I kept seeing a man, he was blasting us, okay? He kept saying the people in the future will look back on us and get sick because we used all the fossil fuels. And I just have to ask this, what does this man think? Leave the fossil fuels there and let perhaps 90% of the population die, so the future population can actually look back and say, idiots, they had everything they needed to live when they didn't. So, Prophets of Doom, this guy, to me, I thought is a total nutcase. So, but I want to tell you a little bit about a couple of other things here. And I'll say that it is not greed of the multitudes that is causing the collapse of a country. Read the Bible. It tells the truth. Allow the government to take charge and a nation will go away. It has been repeated over and over and over. Read the story about Pharaoh, how everything was fine until slowly he took until they gave their land to the Pharaoh. And then they had to work a day to earn enough food to eat for one day. That's where America will be, if it continues that long. But it's not. That's the reason. It's biblical, and it's over and over and over. It's been repeated many times. It goes from being capitalist to being socialism. So every country starts out being capitalist, and this is what makes them grow. 200 years or so, and then the government steps in, and then they destroy it. Okay, now that said, I have a couple things to say about having a bug-out shelter that you're all hearing about. It will simply be a temporary fix. This will pass much quicker than you think, because the government will simply find you and take what you have. They have already said that. I promise you, it has been said already. Okay, and some more. And it will be far more horrible than you think. In other words, when people are building these bug out shelters, they're thinking, well, riots, or thinking maybe an EMP. Hey, look, when the tribulation starts, you'll wish it was just riots or EMPs. That's so far off what it's going to be like. It's unbelievable. So, as I said, it'll be far more horrible than you think. There will be Annunaki, or shall I say the fallen sons of God. When we say Nephilim, got to remember now, it is not the Nephilim because they died in the flood. There were some left, okay, because it says prior to and after. But most died, and they become the disembodied spirits, okay? These are the spirits of the Nephilim that get into people, and they have to do an exorcist to get them out. And Jesus went up to a man and said, "Who are you?" And the spirit in him said, "I'm legion, I'm many." And Jesus said, "Get out of this man, enter the swine, and jump off the cliff." That's what they did. Well, the pigs died, but then the spirits didn't. So, we don't know what is truly underground either, and we don't know for 100% that there are Annunaki or fallen angels on Nibiru. But in any case, in the end, the Lord said it over and over and over. The earth, in the last 7 years, this will be the most terrible time there's ever been since the world began. And it will never be this time again after that 7 years. It will be, you would love to have zombies going around and just go ahead and kill you. I mean, really. You'll have Satan and his friends to deal with. And all these monsters they created, I promise you they're going to come. I'm not sure they're going to come from Nibiru, but I do know that they are underground. I do know the Bible says they'll release them that are underground. Some are free to go now, and they cohabit this place with us. We don't know two things. We don't know when we're entertaining angels, and we don't know when we're sitting beside a fallen angel. In any case, the last 7 years will be sheer torture, unlike anything that has ever been. But please keep one thing in mind. You don't have to be in it. You do not have to be there. John 3:16 simply tells us that for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, and whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. You will be protected. You will not go through the tribulation if you're saved. You will not go through the tribulation. Bible clearly says, I will keep you from that hour. And also the man of perdition cannot come until the light has left. And we're the light. Jody Wolf, Expoz.